welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty, and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves where this conversation takes place. Land which was never ceded, land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally, and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Today I'm talking to Nabil Ansari. Nabil is the loveliest man. I've been following him for a while on Instagram, and of course I'd heard about him when he did Ansari at Home, a pop-up over lockdown where he cooked Indian food for his neighbours, and then it went gangbusters. As always, it was such a pleasure to talk to someone who's so passionate about what he does. From deciding he wanted to cook, leaving Dubai and coming to Australia where he knew no one but wanted to go to William Anglis, it feels as though Nabil has made strong connections and beautiful friends in hospitality and beyond. Having worked at the European and Sunda, Nabil was ready to stretch his wings and take on the role of head chef at Firebird. I reckon he's definitely one to watch, and I loved that I got to meet and chat with him.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I was so excited because I've been following you on Instagram and you've been doing so many great things. So sadly I can't come to the lunch next week. But then I was
it's
like,
the week after.
Oh, the week after. I'll be teaching. But
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to hear your story.
Hopefully you can come back when it's all launched.
Absolutely.
Or lunch.
So I came to the launch of Firebird a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's changed direction or whether you will change direction for it or...
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah. Let's start.
So the direction of the restaurant is still the same. So we're still doing Vietnamese food. But I think the difference over here is we're trying to do Vietnamese. Not trying, but we are doing Vietnamese and French because of the French influence.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of French influence before when they started the restaurant. But one of the reasons I took the job was to put in more of the French influence into...
And that's because of working at the European?
Yeah, so obviously I learned a lot at European, and then when I moved to Sunda Dining, over there also like the purees and everything, the sauces were actually made the French way. Like making a duck stock or a chicken stock, and then you have your base stock, then you put curry paste into it and reduce it and it becomes like a curry duck jus or a lamb jus.
Yeah.
So over here as well it's the same. We have our core flavors are Vietnamese, but we do use a lot of French techniques in finishing the dish. A good example would be the duck. The new duck dish is going to be actually the brining of the duck is all Asian flavor, Vietnamese flavor, I would say, with a lot of pandan, lemongrass, ginger, and orange. But the French influence is the way the duck jus is made. Okay. It's made like the traditional way. We start off by making a chicken stock, roasted chicken stock, and then we reduce that. We put in duck bones into it, then reduce that again, and then while flavoring it, we flavor with a little bit of oyster sauce, soy sauce, and some Vietnamese 5-spice mix into that as well. And it's getting served with actually a radicchio salad, which is again very French. So it's got radicchio, coriander leaves into it, and orange segments. So it's a mix of both French and Vietnamese. So that I think is going to be very interesting and more flavorful.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of beautiful Vietnamese restaurants around in Melbourne, but no one's doing French and Vietnamese together.
And it's so true. I was just talking to someone the other day about Hanoi. I went to Hanoi I went to Vietnam in 2014, and I'm a French teacher. And so when I was wandering around Hanoi and just admiring the architecture, I got lost. And an older lady came up to me and she asked me in French, "Vous êtes perdu? Are you lost?" And I was just like, I just love that she didn't ask me in English. She asked me in French. It was so great. So that's an interesting point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've changed the menu?
Yes. So the Firebird restaurant, when they first opened, they've had a couple of dishes which is still on the menu. So one of their old dishes was the Scotch egg. So we're still keeping the Scotch egg as it is, but we are just adding a little bit more chive satay into the mix. So there are a few recipes, like I think on this menu we plan to go ahead with 21 dishes. Out of 21 dishes, we are still keeping 2 of the Firebird dishes. One of them being the Scotch egg, second being the chicken. It's a whole marinated chicken. We brine it and then we marinate it in ginger, galangal and onion marinade, and it gets served with burnt chili lokman, and I think it should stay on the menu. It's delicious, and I don't want to change that. So there's 2 dishes which are still staying, and then the rest of the dishes are changing. So yeah.
And I guess well, I'll go back to the start of your career in a minute, but I guess why now move to Firebird? Why for you?
So a good question. Many people ask me this question actually, because I was at Sunda for 4.5 years. Started with Sunda when they first opened, literally the second week, and I started almost from the bottom, I remember, and then moved all the way to sous chef. And it was good. I was in Sunda, and with Khan's help, I was running Sunda for almost 2 years, because when he opened Aru, he got busy with Aru, and I was at Sunda. So that had already given me more exposure in terms of leadership. And the next goal I had was, or challenge I wanted to challenge myself, was to look into a new job where I could be more of a leader and running a kitchen. So this job came up through a friend's reference, and they're like, oh, Firebird is looking for a new head chef. It's more about team building, because the restaurant was always been busy, and the menu was still working, is still working actually, and we have always been busy, good feedback. And I think so the main reason for taking this job was to grow my leadership skills, and it was more about, okay, you have a team, you have to start them, training them. So I took this job in September, end of September, and it was more about, okay, so here's my team, how I can make them. It's very hard, like a chef can have a very good recipe and his food can be solid, but the hard part is he's not going to cook every day. He has to have a strong team who can cook for him.
Exactly right.
So yes, the chef can taste everything, but when it comes to cooking, it's his team cooking for him. So the first couple of weeks was more about like setting up the kitchen how I would like, so which we did that. The second, since day one, the main focus was changing the team culture, building the team, hiring, and giving them a guide where to start, so which we have achieved.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, we have a solid team of 8 chefs, which is pretty good for this.
That feels like a luxury.
Yeah,
from what I've heard.
Yeah. And it's just about like training, because they had this thing, I come from a fine dining restaurant and this is more of a casual, but I think so your standards remain the same, let it be fine dining or let it be casual. Chef should have his own standards, and that's it. We started building our standards. Okay, this is the way we are going to do things from now, and slowly getting into the rhythm and understanding, making the team understand why we are doing like this. So that was a long process, but a very good process, I would say. So
yeah. And how did you know how to do that? Because I guess does being a leader come naturally to you?
It comes from my dad, I would say. And I'm more of I love cooking, but I love people.
Yeah.
And I like My thing, what I really enjoy is sharing my skills with others, because over here it was more like, oh, I wouldn't want to work in a fine dining restaurant because I'm not good. I wouldn't have the skills, and then like, oh, it all starts from the basic. They usually simply like they use the same chopping boards, they have their own knives, and it starts with basic. That's all you need, and it's how you develop those skills eventually can make you a good chef. So it was just about like sharing those things, what I've learned in my past experience, and yeah, in the end, just share, and now they all are loving the culture we have.
Yeah. I guess it's about trust as well. I was listening to you say before, you can't be here every day, so you have to trust that your team are going to do it, but they have to trust you enough to want to do that.
Exactly. And it was more about like bringing back that passion of cooking, because I think so what has happened over the lockdowns and closures, people have, everyone wants to make money. That's true. That should be good. That to survive you need to make money. But I think what I have seen is people got a bit sidetracked. It's like, yes, I want to make money, but I don't have a passion in doing this job, but I want the money. So that's a hard spot to be in. So the first thing I did was I listened, okay, yeah, you want money? This group is good, we'll pay you. But at the same time, we need to build that passion. There's no point you coming here just doing what I tell you and going out. It's not going to get you anywhere. So if we can offer you this much money, imagine if you are able to do some more extra work, and down the track, you'll actually make more money. So it's one of the things I always say is like, yeah, you have to do what I ask you to do, but you need to think why I'm asking you to do it. Because if I keep on telling you to do things, you'll just do it. But in the end, you're not growing. You're just following my order. So we have got into this habit where we listen to each other, and then we kind of question back each other as well. Okay, so I'm going to use this garnish, but what is this garnish going to do on the plate? And then we ask each other person. So even this whole menu which I'm doing, I've never been to Vietnam. I've not got much Vietnamese exposure, but I have two Vietnamese chefs. So it was more about like, okay, we have to do this menu. I need all your help to do this.
Yeah.
And in the end, we can work together and come up with a recipe. So that was really good. That was really fun. And then I can already see like everyone's just motivated as well, and there's a passion, and it's like, oh sure, you should put this garnish on, I think it's better, oh no, you should do this. So it was more of a teamwork rather than just, oh yeah. Having said that, I did have a menu before I took the job. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be the head chef here, I think I should just have a menu ready to go for me. And I did send the menu to the directors and the executive chef, and they're like, yeah, that's good, let's do it. And then as soon as I got in, I don't think anyone was ready for it. Because many people don't like change. I love change. I'm all for it. But in reading the room over here, many people were not happy. And then it's like, okay, if I keep changing, and then I'm going to lose stuff as well. So it was like, okay, you know what, scrap that menu. I literally threw it away. And then we were like, oh, we're going to just run with this current menu and make small baby steps to change. And now, yeah, we finally decided the 7th of February is going to be the big menu change.
Yeah.
And even the chefs, all of them are super excited to go into it.
Yeah. It makes sense though, doesn't it, to come to bring that forward as a team rather than a new person coming in, and I mean, I can see how that would be discordant.
Exactly, because I have chefs who have been here since opening, 3 years, and I could see it on the face that they were not ready to accept me, but at the same time they did give me a chance. It was like, some people say, oh, just let them leave. But for me, it's like, oh, they've already spent so much time here. They probably know the kitchen more than I do.
Yeah.
Which is true. They might not be the highest graded chefs in the kitchen, but they have they're used to the environment. They know how things operate, and it's good to have such people on your team.
Yes.
So it was good to listen to them where they are coming from, and then take those steps.
Yeah.
And then I think so. We've made very, very good success to where we have come.
Well done. How exciting.
Yeah.
Where did your passion come from? Do you have early food memories?
Yeah, it all comes from family, I guess. Growing up, I grew up in Dubai. In India, we used to go India only once a year during like school summer holidays. Growing in Dubai was good. Over there, I got exposed to Indian food a lot because my parents would cook at home, but they would be like, oh, let's go to restaurants here and there, and it would always be Indian restaurants. So that's I got, and my mom and dad both loved eating outside. So we would go to restaurants a lot. That's when I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. But coming from Indian background, it was more like, oh, you have to become a doctor or an accountant or an engineer. So that was always the end. But then I was like, oh, you know what? I don't want to become any of those. I want to become a pilot. And I did apply to a couple of schools. I did get in, but it was just too hard for me. And again, there was no passion when I started doing it. It sounds good that I want to do this, I want to do this. But when I started doing it, I was just like, oh, I'm not going for this anymore. And I dropped out. And in the meantime, my mom had a small catering business. And that's where I started helping her and learning more about cooking and Indian cooking, I would say.
From a particular region, or is it?
So my parents and all are from the north, Mumbai. So it was mostly and Muslim. So Muslim food is quite rich, I would say. So it was mostly those dishes from the north, and that's how I started getting into it. And because the other thing is, my parents didn't want me to just be helping my mom. The next goal would be to get a degree or a diploma in something and to hang it on the wall.
Yeah.
So my parents is like, oh, why don't you make this as your career? And I looked up, like, the first thing I did was like culinary schools. And for some reason, Australia, William Angus came up first. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go with this one.
Wow.
Yeah. My parents are...
Such a big move.
So my parents actually in Dubai, there are a few, in Saudi as well, there were a few. My parents were really hoping me to go to America because I have got family there, extended family. But in the end, I was just like, no, I don't want to stay with family anymore. I want to be more independent and do something on my own. And then William Angus it was.
Do you know anyone here?
No one.
Wow.
No one.
That's impressive.
Yeah. It was good. And as I said, like when I took the piloting school, I lost interest over the time. But since I've come here, I was able to get a job in a small bistro on my third day without any experience. All I said was, oh, I work in my mom's kitchen and I'm looking for a job. And the head chef was Indian. It was a pretty dodgy space, but it was good. It was my first actual job for 3 months, I would say, only. But that was only arriving in Melbourne, and on my third day I got a job.
Yeah, wow.
Which was really good.
And then you started William Angus.
Yeah. So I started William Angus, and then the other job was, I didn't know much about the cash payments and the taxing, So I was getting paid underpaid, to which I thought I'm getting paid a lot. I was getting paid $13 an hour, and I was like, wow, this is so much money.
Oh, no.
And then a friend of mine was like, oh, are you paying tax? And I'm like, what? Because in Saudi and Dubai, we don't have tax.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
So I wasn't even familiar with it. And then for some reason, a job, there was some scouting going on, William Angus, and there was pancake parlor. I was like, oh, I do like pancakes. And I always had this thing of working in like an American style diner.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I could be making pancakes, and I got a pancake job at Pancake Parlor. which was still good. I still make really good pancakes.
I've never been to Pancake Parlour. My partner Charlie has been going on about it lately, so I think we have to go.
It's not bad. It's good for breakfast.
Yeah.
So I did Pancake Parlour for 6 months, and then at that stage I was still learning, and I didn't know much about fine dining and all. And then so what William Angus does is it has to give you. There's one subject where in doing practical with another restaurant. So a European happened to do a dinner at the restaurant at William Angus, and I was talking to the executive chef at that time, Ian Curley, and he was like, "Oh, do you want a job?" And I was like, "Yes." So I got the job from there as a breakfast chef at European.
Yeah.
And then I spent around a year and a half in European just doing. So European is very big.
Yes.
It might look small, but it has we share the same kitchen. So we have the European kitchen, we have City Wine Shop kitchen, then we have Spring Street Grocer, then we have Siglo, we have Supper Club. So it was really good to get all that exposure around.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And then I read that your parents wanted you to work in more of a hotel setting.
So what happened was, again, it's a very Asian mentality as well. So Asian mentality is that there's no fine dining back home. There is now, but back in the day, all good chefs would be in hotels. So you have the Taj hotels, you have the Oberoi hotels, and this and that. And when I told them that I work at a one hat restaurant European, and they're like, "Oh yeah, whatever." But do you work in a hotel? I'm like, no, it's not a hotel, it's just a restaurant. And I send them a picture of the front door, and they're like, oh, that's so old. And I'm like, okay. And the building, because it is very old, but it's an institution, right?
Absolutely, that's right, that's hilarious.
And then I was like, I moved around enough, and I was like, okay, let's move to another job. And then I started applying, and then I didn't even know that the Windsor Hotel is right next block. And I was like, oh, cool. So let me look up a job there, and there happened to be. And the executive chef at that time was Joel Anderson. Lovely man. He gave me a good exposure of the kitchen, and he was doing at that stage, they had a dining room where they would do set menus, but for some reason when I joined, and literally the week after, they closed it, and then he resigned as well. So I was still at the Hotel Windsor doing room service and bar food, I remember, to my memory, but it wasn't, I didn't want to do that. I didn't enjoy it as much because it wasn't as busy, and there were so many chefs just doing not much. And because I was working always in a very busy environment, and I wanted to keep myself busy, so I wasn't having as good time. But I was about to resign in my head, but then literally that week Khan came from Sydney, and then the news was, so the Hotel Windsor is opening a new restaurant called Sunda. And at that stage, because I was at the hotel for a bit, so I was appointed as like a chaperone to Khan to show him around in the hotel if he needs anything, or if he, and then me and Khan just got along, I would say. It was hard in the first place. We did the tasting together, so he had a big tasting for the owners and the director. And it's that time I realized it was like a light bulb moment for me. I was like, wow, this food looks sick, and this is what I want to do in the future. And then so I was still helping him. So he started off at the hotel while the restaurant was still building, and he was doing all the stocks and menu tasting at the hotel. So I didn't have much to do with that. But I was just keeping an eye. I was just saying, okay, I want to do that. But he had his team at that stage already. And then Sunda opened. He did say that he would take me when it opened, but he thought it's not going to be busy, but they were busy straight off. And then after a week, I got the transfer from the from the hotel, and yeah, it was really good. I started as a demi chef there, just learning, and again, this was very different exposure to me as well. So in the past, European was good. It was very old school. It was fine dining, but it was not as finesse plating. It was like, oh, you have this beautiful steak. It's gonna get served with a nice pepper sauce, and that's it, and some chips on the side. But over here, it was like, you have this lamb. It needs the lamb jus, it needs the cashew cream, it needs the salt bush, it needs the glaze. So one dish had more than 7 to 8 components.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was like, I was like, wow, you're gonna put all that on one plate, and it was fabulous. But I wasn't exposed to it, so I was struggling very hard. But again, as I said, it all comes to the skills. You do it again and again and again, and you get better at it. So I would say like the first 3 to 4 months was super hard. Just trying to get familiar. And it was a very small time team. I remember it was only 6 of us.
Wow.
At that time.
Wow.
6, and then one part-timer also. But I think it was more about like Khan just pushing me to learn and be better, and he did give me very good guidance and in terms how to be better. And then from there became CDP, moved around, and then became sous chef, then senior sous chef, / head chef. So it was good. So
I feel like you've had such great opportunities, which clearly you have created that for yourself because you have a passion and you obviously are a hard worker. But I think I've spoken to Ian Curley and to Joel and to Khan, and I just feel like they're all great people.
Yeah, exactly. So from the bat, I think so I was influenced, I had met the right people to guide me.
And what do you think? Because obviously, as you said, being a pilot just wasn't interesting for you. What is it about food and cooking in this space that keeps you here, and you're obviously still excited about it?
It's the joy it brings to people. It's like, I think I can be very creative on the plate, but then you do it and you think it's good, but it's good for yourself. And so I think so, like the joy or the excitement I see in other people eating my food and giving me feedback, I think so that brings me more joy. And I think like if I was in the plane, I'll be flying from one spot to another spot, but it's just not bringing me any joy. So it's about like connecting with people, and as I said, I'm more of a people's person.
Is that why you did Ansari at home as well?
Funny thing that so that pop-up had got me a lot of exposure, and it connected me over the period of time with beautiful people. And till today, they follow me on Instagram and ask me, when am I doing my duck samosa again? Or when can I have biryani? So I literally on Sunday, I went to a friend's place, and he's a doctor. He would work near St. Vincent, and he would come to my pop-up. And I didn't know him at the time, but then he reached out on Instagram and saying, I've been to your pop-up 3 times already in a week. And I love the fish you do. And then I think that the common interest we had was obviously the food, but the wines as well. So, and then we built a good relationship, and then he was just like, I want to have biryani, and I was like, I want to have burgundy wines. And then so I was at his place on Sunday. We just had some very nice Indian barbecue, had biryani and some really delicious burgundy wine. So it works out in the end.
So great.
And it's not one. There's like few other people who have been in touch, and they're like, we should just catch up and have a cook. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So it's definitely got me a lot of exposure. Not only I thought that cooking would be only bringing me exposure to the restaurant industry, but it's like, no, I have doctors, I have finance advisors, nurses, they all just want to go out. And now recently a lot of wine suppliers. So it's been good. It's giving me more exposure as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, with all that in mind, I mean, have you been cooking since 2015? Is that?
Yeah, 2015, that's
yeah. What would your advice be to young people who are thinking of becoming chefs?
Don't lose your passion. I think the most important part is, you want to be a chef, but just pushing towards it. Many people do give up. I did think once or twice, I can't do this anymore. But it's more about like challenging yourself and never give up. As Ben Shuri would say, never give up. And that's so true.
Yeah.
Because if you give up, you're just going to lose your passion in cooking. And it's only because of that certain time you think you're not doing good and you want to give up. But if you just keep pushing through it, it's the way forward in this industry.
Yeah.
Because one of the other things is like, I still think I can't be a better chef because many people are already cooking what I'm cooking, and that can be challenging. But what I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to compete with anyone. I'm going to cook my food, and I'm just going to give them a good experience. And if people buy it, they buy it. If they don't, it's fine. There are other good people cooking already. So I think being less competitive gives you better progress.
Yeah.
And don't burn bridges. Yeah.
Also
many chefs do that, and I don't know why. So I think it's like me and Khan are still really good friends. We're still cooking next week together. We still hang out with each other. And European. It would be funny, I'll tell you. So we do forget to order things here and there. And when working at Sunda, I would forget to order oysters. And then, because I had a good relationship with European, I would literally run to European, borrow oysters from them, and then use it at Sunda, and next day return it back.
Yeah.
So it's the trust we build. And even today when I go to European, it's like, smiling faces, everyone's happy, and you're still having a good time. So
I'd like to think there's a community amongst hospitality people, and I know there is competition, and it's creative, and it is competitive and so on. So sometimes bridges get burnt, but it's so much nicer for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, food should bring people together.
Exactly. It? Yeah. So in the end, that's what I told Carl. Once my menu is done, you all have to come. It's not a choice. You have to come because it will give me more joy. I'll be nervous for sure, but it's something that I want to show and I want to share to them. And it's thanks to you that your guidance and support has even given me this opportunity.
Yeah.
So if I wouldn't have worked in those places or taken or learned from them, I don't think I would be here, right? So in the end, it's all connected. Yeah.
Thank you. That's perfect. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Nabil Ansari at Firebird. You can check out Nabil's food on Instagram at Nabil Ansari, which is Nabilansari, or at Firebird Melbourne, all one word. He's also kicking around on SBS and on YouTube if you want to hear his infectious laugh again. I'm also on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef, and you can read the chat at www.conversationwithachef.com. Do you know how much I would love it if you told a friend about my chats? And of course you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Once again, thanks for listening and have a great day.